This is your 2K. This is your losers bracket finals. One team will be going to the grand finals. Who's it gonna be, FaZe or Space Station Gaming?
Last time these teams met in the winners final, it was Space Station that just absolutely ran away with the series. FaZe, they've had some time to think about it in the elimination bracket, but we're gonna have to see some stiff changes from FaZe if they're gonna come back and answer strong against Space Station.
Space Station Gaming with their objective efficiency. FaZe coming out with that firepower, that heat time and time again. I don't know who's going to be on top, but I do know Stellar has a sniper rifle and immediately uses it against Frosty. And once he gets that kill, right back and trying to alleviate some of the pressure, Renegade and Snakebite over toward the tower side. Penguin's right in the action. Stellar's doing everything he can to watch his back from afar with that S7, and Penguin does end up going down.
Well, I love what FaZe was doing off the start, right? They're putting up signs, live, love, laugh. They're making Space Station's home their own. Unfortunately, they give up a lane too much, and Space Station is able to take that opportunity, pull a flag, and they already almost have it home. And while FaZe going 3 down, this looks as if it's going to go without, some heroic play from Renegade.
Interior decorators out of FaZe, let me tell you, they're making this place look good, but somehow with Space Station Gaming that advanced that flag forward, stopped just short over towards the cut side. Are they going to be able to relay this flag forward? It looks like they are. Stellar has it, punches it in. That's going to be a 1-0 Space Station Gaming up in the game.
Well, 2 players from FaZe trapped underneath Sword. You're going to start to see splits from FaZe. Traditionally, what you normally see in Halo Infinite is a lot of 3-1 pushes. 3 players together, 1 isolated looking for the flank. So far, we've seen FaZe running in duos, a little bit more like Halo 5S. And although that has high upside, it also allows Space Station to inherently go into gunfights with numbers, usually fighting with 3 players against 2. It's really going to be up to individual talent from FaZe in order to break and give themselves opportunity.
Well, even though teamwork makes the dream work, an individual play coming out of bounds to knock Frosty right off the map, hits him with the heat wave on his way down, and then brings the heat going right after Snakebite. And with that, FaZe end up losing numbers quickly. Penguin's already on the pull. A stray grenade coming out of Renegade will end up stopping that pull just a bit, but it is going to be pushed forward right as Overshield and Rockets are coming up.
Halo's all about evolving, right? You always have to be on your toes, learning what the new meta is at all times. And we're seeing a concerted effort from Space Station to pull flags towards the Sword side. Non-traditional. Ever since the Halo 3 days, it's always been a ritual. You always pull flag towards long. Well, we're starting to see that flipped on its head a little bit. Space Station having success towards the Sword side, running that flag. They try it for the second time. It almost gets there. One missed juggle, and, well, Space Station probably has that flag home.
Rockets now being snatched up here by Renegade. The objective efficient Space Station Gaming have been going with their runway side plays over and over again, but now with that snipers coming into play, will they be able to continue to run that flag over toward the runway side? Will they go back toward the traditional long haul side? We're starting to see Stellar on the off map creeping up. Eco ends up finding how powerful that needler is right off the rip. It looks like Snakebite could have slowed the game down just a bit. Sniper on the tower side. He feels Space Station Gaming starting to push up. He wants to make sure that base is cleared out.
Right now, you're going to see how this game's going to slow down. This is what happens when you get 2 snipers on the map, right? Is that everyone is looking for that first opportunity, that first pick. And Snakebite, well, he's not taking 1, he's taking 2. Rockets are coming through, and Penguin's in danger.
Penguin avoiding damage left and right. The nades are coming in. It looks like Penguin, Renegade and Snakebite just too much for Penguin there. Eco and Stella working a 1-2 combo right back at him. FaZe end up going 3 down in a 2v1 situation. Frosty has to try to fight off double the trouble, and it's not going to be enough. His former teammate and Eco going to trade out his life to make sure Frosty goes down there, and Bound already applying pressure onto the Sword side. World 2 is not liking that.
And Space Station shows that it's not necessarily what you do with the first opening pick, right? It's not 4v4 that matters. What matters is when it's 2v3, 1v2. When you're down numbers, how much can you execute? And well, so far, Space Station has done a fantastic job at finding equalizing numbers and preventing FaZe from having any follow-through to their initial explosive plays.
Both Rockets and Overshield coming up in less than 20 seconds here. We've seen FaZe having numbers here over toward the sword side, but there is a bound lurking, waiting, daring one to come in. The repulse does gonna come out, but Renegade is not off the map. He's actually perfectly placed for that overshield, but it's not up just yet. Wall 2 and Frosty break through together here with that Space Station Gaming, end up going 2 down, trying to make a last-ditch effort for the Rockets. Is Eco does a lot of damage, but it's not gonna be enough. FaZe have the advantage. They have Rockets, they have Sniper. Space Station are in trouble.
Yeah, Eco does a great job getting behind enemy lines, making them waste those rockets. Huge, great understanding of timings and knowing when things are open and when to push. But like you said, FaZe is knocking on the door, and this is a great opportunity for them to get a flag out.
Renegade over towards the shoddy side of the map. Stellar, his former teammate, going right at him. Big kill coming out of Stellar. Stellar even working onto Frosty, but he has 2 in front of him. And so the body shot just 2 of them. He ends up getting the double kill. Stellar dropping bolt, and oh my gosh, FaZe must be so frustrated. And Stellar's absolutely going off. That's going to be a no-scope right to the brains of Renegade. Drop wall down. Defenses are up. FaZe were once the aggressors, now they're in trouble. War 2 with the defense, not going to be enough. That's a killing spree now coming out of Stellar. That flag is advancing forward. Like you said before, it's back over toward the sword side of the map.
I absolutely love this, and with FaZe going 3 down, this flag is going to get around the corner in time. Bound running it past, and Stellar really showing that, hey, Halo is a team game, but sometimes you just need to make individual plays, showing why he is the best sniper in Halo Infinite at the moment. Absolutely popped off, and his team is just cycling through FaZe. This is another flag that's going to go home, and the reward is because 4 players go down. They have access to ball snipers. There's 3 snipers on the map right now, and this is absolutely phenomenal work from Space Station thus far.
And what's crazy to me is that we've seen Space Station Gaming look good. We've seen them look great, but honestly, this is the best that we've seen Space Station Gaming look in a very long time. The objective efficiency has always been there, but they are going blow to blow with everyone on FaZe, possibly the best lane team that we have in the league here. Space Station Gaming refused to hand over the crown just yet. Forget going for 3rd place. They're going for #1 the way they're looking.
I mean, Stellar has taken the throne, right? There is no question in my mind, or I should say anyone's mind anymore, who is the best sniper in Halo Infinite. So far, Stellar has made play after play that is impactful, game-changing. It's not about just getting the double kill, the triple kill. To him, it's about pushing his team forward, doing whatever it takes, and so often it's him finding a headshot with the sniper rifle.
Another flag being pulled over toward the first side, but Frosty ends up going down. Penguin has to be cleared with Renegade missing both of those no-scopes. It's only a matter of time before he goes down, but Snakebite coming in out of nowhere. Penguin gets the melee, but it's not going to be enough to take down Renegade. So now Renegade lives, and he's being a nuisance on the backside of Space Station Gaming. By the time they take Renegade down, Snakebite gets rockets. He's not even going to waste it onto Eco. Still 1 in the chamber, ready to use onto SSG. They may be up 2-0 right now, but FaZe seemingly have woken up.
Yeah, FaZe hasn't had any problems pushing into the base of Space Station. It's been the follow-up that's been hurting them. They just haven't been able to get the flag more than a couple meters away, and because of this, Space Station's just constantly refilling, recycling their numbers, waiting that 8 seconds, getting off a respawn, finding the pick, and eventually finding opportunities to countercap.
2 members of Space Station Gaming onto the flag side. Eco does get a big kill onto Snakebite. It looks like we're anticipating that the spawners are coming over toward the courtyard side. Bound trying to do everything he can to fight through the S1 side, but it's not going to be enough. Somehow, Space Station Gaming still end up going 3 down. The 4th one is going to fall as well. That flag is being run over toward the long haul side. Good spawners coming in for SSG, but Renegade is already chasing them down before Frosty's able to turn the corner. SSG with those shoddy side spawns, able to stop that flag short. Can FaZe relay it, or will this be a return?
Well, you're going to see all these numbers come in. Look at Space Station flooding in. 3 players playing towards long side, and this is going to be a tough situation because now FaZe, look, they give up all those numbers. Frosty's last alive, but guess who's the player that was isolated? It's Stellar. He has the other sniper, and he's looking for opportunities, and the second you give him a chance, he is going to hit you with snipe shots.
I don't think Stellar's actually missed a shot so far with the S7. Like we've even seen him get a 2-for-1 body shot with the S7, but so far I haven't seen him actually miss a shot, whether it's a body shot or a headshot. Stellar is punishing FaZe, and Frosty is just gonna be the next victim there. The body shot with the no-scope, taking down Snakebite. That's gonna be a double kill, and Stellar is not done. Finally slows down on the long haul side, but look, Rockets and Overshooter coming up, and FaZe are stuck in their base right now. Stellar and Space Station are putting the pressure on them. With them going 2 down, now Space Station Gaming have the opportunity to not only pull that flag over, but get every single power up and power weapon here on Empyrean.
Yeah, and this is just a master class in how to control the map from Space Station. They've done a brilliant job being in the right spot at the right time, depending on their power weapon players to hit those big shots and to keep their team pushing forward. FaZe has had their opportunities to get into the opposite base, but they've never had the follow-up answer, and that's where Space Station has been consistent, right? When they find their opportunities to get in, very rarely do they let them slip by.
Kill.
And now FaZe really are on the clock. You got to less than a minute 30 seconds on the clock in order to try to make something happen. As of right now, you are losing numbers after numbers. That's another 3 down. Luckily, Frosty found himself a Needler, but the 2v1 just too much. Frosty, the 4th one, ends up hitting the black screen. Eco is fighting for dear life and buying so much time and for Space Station Gaming, valuable time that FaZe just don't have.
Yeah, it's just stalling tactics for Space Station. They don't have to push forward. Just hurdle up. Make sure you have a strong outer shell. No one gets through without taking damage. You will be successful. It feels impossible at this moment for FaZe to find 2 answers back to back in just 40 seconds.
Well, they're gonna have to try. They're gonna have to empty the tank, put the pedal to the metal. FaZe need to get into the base of SSG. Stellar's on the sword side. Frosty gonna be the first one to push up towards mid-bridge. He is able to deal with Eco, but that bait and switch, like you talked about before, coming in strong, and now Renegade just flying out. And at this point, I think it's mathematically impossible here. It looks like Space Station Gaming will be taking game number 1, and wow, what a start to our series.
Yeah, we talk about the X factors in the game, right? It has to be Stellar in the conversation. I believe full-heartedly that he is the best sniper player in Halo Infinite. I think he's always been in that conversation throughout his career of just being this incredible sniper. But in the last couple months, I feel like he's elevated his game that much. Now, the big difference might be, Tony, is that, well, instead of playing from Arizona, now he's made his way to the bottom of the country over in Texas, right? So maybe that internet helping him a little bit. I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna say that for sure, but it really felt like we never saw him truly miss a shot. There was a chance for him to hit it. He hit it time and time again.
Well, I mean, when you're playing for Arizona, he talked about it often, like his connection was awful, and it was that bad. So he goes from, like, you know, almost like that Rock Lee and Naruto, you know, he takes off the ankle weights. Now he's in Texas. Now he's feeling good. He's flexing. He's ready to fight everybody. Gara, watch your back. Stellar is here.
Oh man, and like really, FaZe just, it didn't really feel like there was like a great opportunity. There was a couple of times where we saw him get a flag out, right, Tony? And we thought maybe he could get home. Remember the one that was stuck over in long haul? But it was plays like this, right, where Stellar, it's a 1v2. Well, he has 1 sniper shot and 2 players to put them through, right? He's consistently making the big plays. And then, well, talk about a follow-up, right? Yeah, hit the shot, absolutely devastating on the map. And then because of this, he's able to provide counter pressure and get a counter cap on board. We had 3 different highlight clips, and they all started from where Stellar left off, right? That's just showing how much of an impact he had throughout that game.
Well, so now you talked about Stellar being the X factor within this game. You talked about him being one of the best snipers in the game right now. But like with all of that adding up and the way he's consistently been great, and whether it's 1v1s or 4v4s, we've seen him in all of it. Like at this point, are you ready to say Stellar is top 5 in the game? Are you ready to say that Stellar's top 3 in the game? Like where are we? What conversation are we putting Stellar right now when it comes to the greats in the game right now?
Well, I always think that with any player that's placing top 3, it's dynamic, right? There's never for sure you are the top player in the game. At any given day, someone can play up to that level, and I think Stellar just is the epitome of that, right? At any moment, Stellar can be the best player in the game. It's been that consistency that's really held Space Station back throughout the HCS, and if they're able to get back to their season 1 ways where they're constantly in grand finals again, where they are the final boss of the HCS, then I think we can have that clear-cut conversation.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We've been talking about Space Station Gaming not being the best online team, you know, and really struggling. But the way they're playing right now, if they play better on LAN, it's going to be scary. But it's up to FaZe to strike back here. The last thing you want to do is fall 0-2 in the series. Frosty recognizes the situation that he's in, immediately gets himself a double kill. That's gonna lead to a shock rifle. Space Station Gaming on spawn. FaZe down by 1.
And look how FaZe is separating, right? 3 players towards gold, playing across the map, letting Stellar isolate himself on an island. They are really depending on him to hit snipe shots, right? You're leaving him ISO, you depend on him to hit the head and then have numbers on the other side of the map.
He is able to hit the body shot, taking down Stellar quickly, using that grapple to avoid as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, off screen, Space Station Gaming struggling in the kills department as they give the lead over towards FaZe. And on top of that, spawning onto the C long haul side, FaZe, you got 2 members watching gold, 1 player onto the Whirlpool side, and Frosty's watching A. Right now, FaZe have that map control and are daring Space Station Gaming to cross the mid.
Right, you see your perimeter players on both sides. Renegade's really the factor. He needs to be dynamic, decide who he needs to help from the middle section of the map. You're starting to see the pressure towards long haul, and I love how Frosty and Renegade feel free to move forward, right? They're not stuck on watching their cross and being in their position. They're fluid. They know where the team needs help, and they're constantly executing upon that, ensuring that they have numbers in these fights.
I believe Renegade was almost able to get away with camouflage, but I want to say that camouflage was burnt out here by Space Station Gaming, keeping it within 1. And Penguin with the long-range shots, taking down Royal 2. Now you're seeing Penguin going after his former teammate, and Renegade, a perfect kill to clear out the tower side. All of that map control that once belonged to FaZe, now it's FaZe being trapped over toward the A side. Now it's SSG claiming multiple quadrants on the map. How will FaZe break out of this?
Yeah, FaZe is stuck at the moment. It's going to come down to individual slays. I want to highlight Penguin staying alive in that moment. Sometimes it's not about the kill, but the lack of death. With Penguin staying alive, it establishes their map control, right? Because Bound's across the map on the other side, and it constricts the spawns of FaZe back towards A. And the thing about A is, yeah, it's great for most of the game, but when you're spawn trapped at A, you have no access towards the sandbox, right? There's not any weapons to pick up. You have the pistol towards the hall, towards tower, but Space Station, they have the shock rifle, the commandos, the disruptor pistol, everything they could possibly need to find a break and collapse on you at A.
And somehow Renegade and Royal 2 breaking through the defenses. They find a hole within the defense of Space Station Gaming, and it's right through the gold side. A double push leads to not only Bound going down, but also leads to that shock rifle finding the hands of Renegade. Now Space Station Gaming forced to huddle up here. Frosty loves that, takes down Stellar, and with that, now we see Space Station Gaming kind of scrambling, trying not to get trapped within themselves. FaZe have the lead right now, and Renegade still has one of the most dangerous weapons here in Halo Infinite. But for how long? Almost going down in the grenade, coming in like the Marty Dom. He will hit the black screen, but active camouflage coming up. I don't know how FaZe are going to recover here. SSG, they want the camo.
Yeah, it about took me back to the playing Call of Duty, you know, as a World at War. My brother throwing the controller at the wall every single time I die and leave a grenade at my feet. And it's just frustrating moments like that slow you down. And you see FaZe had such great map control, but because of Bound's martyrdom nade, it allows Space Station to, one, pick up the shock rifle and then push Penguin towards camouflage, not having to worry about his head getting ripped off.
Somehow Penguin having to trigger discipline not to fire off on the first one, allowing both of them to get over towards tower, luring them into a false sense of security before he gets the valuable damage for the rest of his team to pick up those kills. Maybe Penguin didn't get the double or the triple kill that you would have wanted to get with that camouflage, but clearly his presence being felt. Space Station Gaming able to wipe all of FaZe. They take the lead by 3, and Eco snatches up that shock rifle once again.
You see, last time FaZe was trapped over at A, they just decided to slow play, right? And they got their numbers together and they pushed out. And FaZe are going to be content with that. They're never going to try to push something that they don't feel like they have the advantage. They're going to wait for their opportunity, and their opportunity might just come at C plat, a flank from 2 FaZe players coming into fruition right now.
The ping coming in left and right. We know that FaZe are sending 3 members onto long haul to address the C side of the map. One ends up going down, but the rest of FaZe are still getting aggressive right now. Eco back into a corner. The pressure's coming from the right, left, all sides, and there's no exit for Eco. Renegade gets himself a big kill onto the C side. Now taking the time out to go for that repulse. We will see Camouflage once again in 10 seconds, and in a 2-kill game, this is going to be so important. Now we're moving into the 3rd quarter, moving into the 4th quarter of this game. Camo just becomes that much more valuable.
Right, and Space Station making a concerted effort to get towards C, right? They know Camouflage is coming up. What's the most important spawn? It's the C spawn, but FaZe putting their numbers towards Tower, pulling them away from the open position, but Bound still finds the invisible player, gets the back smack, hunts down the Ghost, and now you're gonna see the pace of play pick up tremendously for Space Station. It's about getting them into this cycle, constantly getting onto their spawns, putting them on respawn, and establishing map dominance.
Back-to-back kills going for FaZe, but Bound answers back with a double kill of his own. They needed him to make a play, and that's exactly what he was picked up to do. Now the lead would start off as 2, turn to 3. Now it's up to 5 at the moment, which feels so dominant so far in this game. That has largely been a 2-kill game. Now we're talking about just 12 more kills needed for Space Station Gaming to really take over and to take the win here. FaZe, they need to draw that line in the sand right now. Something needs to change. They need to go back to what they were doing in the early game, because as of right now, SSG are creeping up towards their end game, creeping up towards finishes and making this a 2-0 series.
That FaZe's game plan hasn't really changed throughout this game. You've constantly seen 2 players towards gold, 1 player in the middle, and 1 player playing towards A. And although this had success for them early game, it's obvious that Space Station has adapted, right? They're not falling for the same tricks anymore. They're starting to go positive on these trades, and while FaZe, they're gonna have to adapt. They're gonna have to find a different game plan in order to get themselves a 6-kill swing and get them in striking position in this end game.
Tower side control in the hands of SSG. Bound is actually already pushed up towards long haul, really close to the glass side. Renegade must be feeling the pressure here, because he's gonna back down. Must be hearing Ghost, because Bound quickly starting to inch his way forward. Camouflage about to come up, and so far Space Station Gaming have first eyes on it, but they're not just gonna die for willy-nilly. They know that FaZe want to use it as bait, and now Snakefight is starting to find out where they're coming from. He's picking left and right. They're saying, watch out for that long haul push. It is coming, and it is Bound. Eco and Bound. Crossfire is gonna take down Renegade. That's gonna be bad for FaZe as the cross-map shots continue to connect. Snakefight clears out the tower side, gets himself some huge green gun shots. Penguin, but somehow it is not enough. Penguin lives here. Renegade down to half shields. He's gonna have to grapple out. Space Station gonna get aggressive to this. They're gonna push. They're gonna push up right now.
And FaZe, they really haven't been able to get away with the camouflage yet. We've seen them grab it a couple times, but see them immediately get killed. For the first time in a while, Renegade is gonna have an opportunity to run loose with this camouflage. And well, while they're running out of chances to get back in this game, well, Bound has done it once again from unlikely positions, able to find the camouflage, neutralize it, and basically push this game home for Space Station.
Space Station Gaming going 3 down once again. Stellar's kind of ISO'd here on the A side. Luckily, Bound recognized that. He's going to quickly advance forward, so it's going to be Bound watching the whirlpool. Renegade crossing, not looking both ways before crossing the street. Penguin takes down Renegade, and now there's a second player that's pushed up. It's gonna be Frosty. He's on glass, avoiding all of this damage. He wants to try to take down the one-shot. Eco is able to do so, but goes down in the meantime, and that puts Space Station Gaming just 2 kills away from taking the game. Bound with the shock rifle, body shot onto 1, has 3 players in front of him, somehow still looking confident here. 48-42. Space Station Gaming slowing down once again. There's no need to funnel, no need to make any more mistakes here. You only need 2. Don't get averaged.
Oh, well, I don't think Stellar was listening. Caught out in the open, and you can never rest in these games. You're going to see FaZe play a lot tighter, not going to give any free opportunities, but if Space Station decides to get cheeky, push something that they aren't allowed to push, they will get punished. And well, it's been Space Station players falling, finally able to find the last 2 kills. FaZe making it a little bit nervy at the end, but a phenomenal job through that game from Space Station to close it up.
Yeah, we saw FaZe start to strike back and really make it a little bit closer there, but there was just no leeway. Sadly, you were still only 2 kills away from losing it out. So although they won some of those engagements and looked clean over towards the end game, eventually Space Station said, hey, we just need to trade out our lives 2 more times and that's it. And Space Station Gaming stealed that 50-44 in that Team Slayer. And now it's Space Station Gaming, just 1 game away from taking down the number 2 seed in FaZe. And again, this has huge implications when leading towards the next land. DreamHack Dallas coming up next here, and it looks like everybody getting into fighting form.
Yeah, this is FaZe's opportunity to take away the number 1 seed, right? If they are able to go to grand finals and defeat Optic, they have basically locked up that 1 seed for DreamHack Dallas. Space Station looking to play spoiler though, right? And because they've had a couple rough performances, it's now time for them to ice up because their 3 seed was in danger for a little bit. I think they're going to be secure after this tournament with how they played. And I just want to give a quick shout out to how Space Station was playing in this game. It really felt like they took advantage early game, right? They found the night on the board, right? Capture it, gain that little bit of advantage, and they were constantly offering up pieces to trade, right? They were pushing up, but they were pushing up with support and saying, it's okay if I die because we have this lead already. I'm gonna make sure that I take 1 person down with me, and they just constantly kept that gap from FaZe that was just too much to overcome.
It took me a while to realize you were making a chess reference. I didn't know we were talking about like at night or something. Like you said, the night, like a piece on a chest. I got it. It took me a minute or two. I'm not the smartest bull in the bowl drawer, but I got it eventually.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I bet you're a ceramic. You know what I'm saying? We can throw you on the ground. You ain't cracking anytime soon.
Well, as of right now, Space Station Gaming have been looking cracked all series long. You're up 2-0 in the series right now. And going into Oddball, I would imagine they feel confident. We know Space Station Gaming love playing on streets. However, Oddball is one of FaZe's sneaky best game types according to the stats. It was like their 2nd best game types that they were going through, whether it was LAN, whether it was online. So maybe this is where FaZe start to turn the corner. It's going to start here in game 3, Oddball on streets.
And that's just because it's a battle of attrition, right? When you have 4 superstars like you do on FaZe that have, all of these players have won world championships, they know how to get the game done in 20 minutes, right? They're gonna have opportunities to take control. So hard to keep a team down for that long consistently. But you know the second FaZe is given an opportunity, they're not gonna stop anything short of perfection.
Snakebite started to advance forward with the Stalker rifle. I don't know if he expected all of those grenades for 3 players to literally hunt him down. Renegade somehow turns that into a double kill, and SSG end up going 3 down themselves. And now we're seeing Frosty, Renegade, and World 2 start to spread out here. We see them start to take over the map. Purple side being covered. The strong side, B side, is being watched as well. And now with rockets up, Renegade even having the confidence to drop that ball, secure the kill. FaZe should be able to not only grab rockets, but look at all of the ball time as now FaZe take the lead.
You know, Stellar, he leaves a little gift, a blueberry down on the pad, and while a player pushes up too fast, Frosty thinks those rockets are free. He gets blown up, and well, it's going to be a little bit mixy over at bottom mid to get these rockets. And in fact, all of that, look, Space Station went 3 down, Tony. They went 3 down. But Stellar leaves her grenade, and they get 2 rockets out of it. An incredible change in fortune.
And with that, somehow Stellar gets a double kill with 1 rocket. That's called efficiency right there, avoiding every nade possible. And does he know? Frosty doesn't. The long range shot comes in. That's gonna be the rocket, ends up turning into a double kill as Stellar pushes forward, rotating that ball over toward the C side as far away from the spawning FaZe players as possible. I can't imagine that going any better for Space Station Gaming.
Stellar's playing out of his mind, right? He goes down, he leaves the grenade to get the trade, to leave rockets open. He then comes off respawn, gets said rocket, gets a 2-for-1, predicts the 3rd rocket, and then says, hey, well, there's a ball that I need to move. Let me do the objective as well. Stellar's just an Iron Man on the map. He's doing everything that's needed for Space Station.
I'm being serious right now, Garrett. This is not me over-exaggerating. It's not like any kind of hyperbole, I believe it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but SSG are looking better than we've seen them in a very long time. Like they are legitimately looking land ready right now, and they're playing online, which again, we talk about it time and time again. SSG do not perform at their best online, but as of right now, they're playing phenomenal. They're up 2-0 versus FaZe. They've been doing it all tournament long. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the Space Station Gaming roster, and every Optic, FaZe, and everyone else. Watch out, SSG are back, and I'm loving it.
We've hit the way back machine. Oh, bounce and overkill. And he's getting the objective too. Hey, a little kill tack. Frosty, push the corner, please. No, not gonna give him the satisfaction, but it's just absolutely absurd how well Space Station's playing. And it feels like we hit the way back machine, and we're back at Raleigh, fresh-eyed, bushy-tailed, say, hey, let's play some Halo Infinite for the first time. And then, you know, these three, this core three of Space Station just absolutely running the competition out of the building.
Renegade, you might be the demon, but Pound is him, and he's letting you know. 11 and 5, 45 seconds worth of ball time right now, as Space Station Gaming 25 seconds away from taking this round. And so far, again, they're up 2-0 in the series. This is FaZe's final chance to play for, to try to make it to the grand finals. Again, this is the losers bracket finals right now, and FaZe are getting outclassed, outworked at every single corner.
Pound somehow was able to get snake bite, but what that did is it bought opportunity for his teammates to come off spawn. He put he basically turned a 1v2 into a 2v1 by getting that kill on snake bite. And this ball has just been, it's been frustrating for FaZe because they've won the numbers fight a couple times, but they just have not been able to get that in a safe position and accumulate time to get themselves back in this game.
Pretty sure Elon might say stop coaching this one. He's out patting himself on the back. He's like, man, SSG looking like a young straight ripping right now. The way they played, honest, SSG was playing incredible. It's 75 to 24. Penguin opens up with the double kill when FaZe actually had control, and I thought that was gonna be a subway side setup coming up from FaZe. Of course, it's Penguin making the icy plays to get that double and to clear it out. And once again, that ball in no man's land, less than a minute on the clock. Stellar ends up hitting the black screen, not able to stay alive. I believe he had a power weapon as well. Eco somehow follows it up by taking down Snakebite, and now they're just cheeking away at all this time. 2 down, going for FaZe. They have to make a play, just 17 more seconds, and SSG will be taking round 1.
Yeah, at times playing against FaZe right now, they constantly are having to push immediately off spawn, and they just can't get their numbers together. And once again, Stellar, anytime you feel like you're about to take him down, he's taking you with him. He's just been phenomenal at getting value out of his life.
Penguin doing a little 360. Now he's just showing off right there. Ends up hitting the Bulldog. Great kill. Stellar actually running over that ball. He wants to make sure that this subway side is clear, and it looks like it is, but with just 12 seconds on the game clock, why play for the ball? Leave it out there and use it as bait. It's FaZe the ones that they're desperate for, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing, running into a straight line over the ball. That's exactly where SSG want them. They bait out the first 2 kills. The second 2 don't have a chance. It looks like Space Station Gaming once again looking dominant again here in game 3. Let's take a look at that overkill. That was the double. Oh no, look at this.
Oh, yeah,
That's how strong this is. How are you guys not picking up the Stalker rifle? Like, how do you guys look at the Stalker rifle on streets and don't pick it up when it does damage like that? You're out of your mind.
Yeah, Bound does a phenomenal job at understanding the position on the map, knowing that those rockets are out in FaZe, maybe getting a little bit too desperate, trying to make something happen, and depending on those rockets to form a spark, they end up just putting 4 players in danger, and well, it comes at a hefty cost.
World 2 gonna swap out his BR for the Rockets. What a dub. And then I guess he didn't get the triple kill right there. He like died at the same time, but either way, World 2 influencing 3 kills and allowing FaZe to get their A side rotation coming in. It looks like Space Station Gaming are pushing up as fast as possible. They want to try to get into the action before FaZe get fully set up, but of course FaZe have a Renegade. Wins that individual gunfight against Penguin. Stellar seemingly coming out of nowhere. Renegade has to finish him off, but FaZe don't have the bodies or the ball at the moment here. Great job for SSG, but eventually they do end up going 3 down. FaZe once again grabbing that ball and now rotating it.
Renegade does a great job recognizing that Stalker Rifle has one shot left in it, right? So he picks it back up, shoots, and what he's doing is he's telling his coach, hey, start the clock, right? 1 minute from now, that Stalker Rifle is back on respawn. They should be able to rotate back into the base in time and have the positional advantage to play for the new Stalker Rifle in just under a minute's time.
Space Station Gaming putting FaZe 3 down. That's going to be an easy ball grab coming out of them, but even Stellar extending all the way out toward the planner's side. The pressure coming in as FaZe are coming off the spawn, and Stellar's doing damage from the moment they spawn over towards Cafe to the moment they get anywhere close to the subway side. Stellar is there, and Stellar is making you feel his presence. By the time he's done, he makes it out. He almost able to stay alive. Rockets are coming up. It looks like Frosty's trying to get an angle. Raw 2 is there as well, but so were 2 members of Space Station Gaming. Bound not able to stay alive. Frosty tries to get away, brings it closer towards the rest of the FaZe members. They should be able to pick that up.
Basically throwing that rocket around the corner and saying, please, someone else just pick this thing up. We need rockets. We need to start going on a run and putting separation. But what do you need Stellar to go big, Tony? How many times has he done it this series? He puts down the drop shield, blocks the rocket shot, has the BR shot advantage because of the wasted time, and then gets the kill, picks up the ball. FaZe is spawning across the map and now have to work through all of the BRs of Space Station just to have an opportunity to stop Stellar from accumulating time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we both agree right now that Stellar has been the MVP so far in this series. I will say so far this game, Bound is trying to make a little bit of a run for that honor, but it's Space Station Gaming that's been playing incredible. FaZe still win it though. Only down by 14 points. They can easily make a run. We talked about how good they are at oddball and how great they are at finding the kills. Space Station Gaming, 3 down. FaZe having control. This is the FaZe that we know and love. When they get those slays, they start moving different. They start putting the pressure on you from all sides of the map because of that great individual gun skill and that teamwork. They're always playing for each other. FaZe making the defensive stance here. They're down by a few points, but they're losing bodies.
A tough spot for FaZe right there because they had the ball in PD, they had B control, but they didn't account for Stellar's position. He was hidden in the back of A, and what that did is it made the spawns flip, right? FaZe starts spawning across the map into C, and although they had the powerful position, as soon as those spawners came up at C, they realized, oh no, we're in danger. 3 players from Space Station come through, they get the ball, they get the kills, and now FaZe has just struggled to gain map presence and have the opportunity to keep this ball out of the hands of Space Station.
And Nico gonna take advantage of that immediately, going right for the rockets. Goes for a bit of a pre-fire, can't quite connect, but the assist gonna come in, and looks like that's gonna be a killing spree. FaZe end up going forward down. Space Station get the complete wipe, and now 70 points and counting for Space Station Gaming. Once again, FaZe on their back foot. Will FaZe be swept here in the losers bracket finals? It almost seems unheard of.
This is the FaZe that has felt like they've gone blow for blow against Optic Gaming anytime they've come up against each other. They've had the number against Space Station every single tournament before. Something has changed. I don't necessarily think FaZe is playing bad. I just think Space Station has figured it out. They're right up there in the S tier ranked of teams now. I think there's a real conversation to be had about Space Station going on a run at DreamHack Dallas.
Just 19 more seconds needed for Space Station Gaming. FaZe huddled up at the moment here. Space Station Gaming have been surrounding them, coming at them from every single angle, and it's Stellar gonna be the first one to break right through. Bound takes advantage of all of that damage that Stellar puts out, gets himself a double, a triple kill. The man wants to go for another over. Looks like Royal 2 slows him down just a bit, but nobody's there to take down the ball carrier. Now it's just 10 more seconds. Space Station Gaming have complete control. FaZe have to start desperate. They have to start straight lining once again, and the last time we saw that, it did not work for him. Looks like the same thing's gonna happen here. By the time Renegade gets to the ball, it is too late. FaZe end up going down 2-0 in this oddball. FaZe end up going down 3-0 in this series. Space Station Gaming are going to the grand finals.
Space Station put on a masterclass of how to break setups, right? The way that they push together and coordinate is next level, because it's not about putting 3 players in a lane and pushing into a 3v2 and taking advantage. No, it's about putting the numbers into different lanes and culminating in everyone getting angles at the same time from different positions. Well, we saw Bound pushing through middle, Stellar on the left side, Penguin supporting from the back lane as well. All 3 of those BRs getting on the same page at the same time in the same moments, and then FaZe being helpless to deal with the damage output because of how well Space Station was coordinated every single time that they had to break into the ball.
They say success is when preparation beats opportunity. And let me tell you something. The opportunity is here, and Space Station Gaming looked well prepared, and that was a successful losers bracket finals run against sweeping one of the best teams in the world as Space Station Gaming. Forget going for the astronaut helmet, they're going for the crown once again.